Why do authors write male characters with man pain and then give me some sad sob story about like how, oh, it's okay because their childhood was so rough, they had to fend for themselves? I'm just like, does that mean you have to be a dick in real life? I have plenty of friends who were like bread makers for their family at very young ages, but they were not raging D-bags. Hey y'all, it's Cole, and today I'm going to be giving my least favorite books of all time. Now, just a little disclaimer, I curse a lot, and I can't help it. So if you're easily sensitive to cursing, I would definitely click out of this video. Number two, if you like any of these books, I'm not judging you. I don't care if you like these books, if you dislike these books, if you've never read these books, it'll not make a difference to me. If you do like these books, it's really not that deep, and you can just politely have your own opinion and leave them below. I am not saying that these books are particularly the worst books I've ever read. I'm not saying that these books are just like the worst books in the world. They're just not my cup of tea, and made me, one or two made me rage quit. So without further ado, and in no particular order, except one book is in a particular order, the last book I will say is probably the worst book I've ever read in my life. And that's the only one that's in order. The rest of these are just, I don't know. Okay, let's do it. The first book I will be talking about, oh, side note, I don't have any of the physical copies of these books. If I do, they're somewhere far away from me. So I will just put the book here. Okay, so the first book is Sweethearts by Sarah Zarr. I read this book in middle school for a book club book. So I have my laptop right here, and I'm going to read the synopsis of this book. After losing her soulmate Cameron when they were 9, Jennifer, now 17, transformed herself from the unpopular fat girl into the beautiful and popular Jenna. But Cameron's unexpected return dredges up memories that cause social and emotional turmoil. Okay, little middle school me at 14 and me at 23 now will never like this book. Literally, this book is nothing but fat shaming, man pain, and a really whiny main character. Is my hair really this bad? I really tried to get into it. Even when Cameron resurfaces in Jennifer's life, I didn't really feel bad for him all that much. I did and I didn't. I liked him way more than Jennifer, the female lead. She was very shallow and whiny, and maybe because they were in high school that adds to it. When you're, and I'm not saying all high schoolers are whiny, but the vast majority of us when you're in high school were kind of whiny, and I just wasn't rocking with it. I did not like it. I don't want to get too into detail because it's such a long time ago, and I don't want to give out false information about it. I just remember that it was really shallow, and all the characters were very bland. The writing was bland. The outside cover is so cute, and I thought it was going to be cute, but it was just kind of lackluster and The next book I completely DNF'd is Breeze by Abby Glines. Now, the front cover looks way nicer now. I'm pretty sure it did not look like that when I bought the book. And it is about a girl named Sadie who mother gets pregnant and refuses to work, so she has to work as a maid at the house of no other than teen pop sensation Jack Stone. And of course it is house rules that no teenage girls can work there, but of course she's the exception. She's beautiful. He is undone by her. She's everything he needs but nothing she wants. It was just, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. It was so bad. And I don't want to be mean, and I kind of feel bad sometimes when I'm mean about these books because authors do work hard, I just should have known it wasn't for me when there was people on the front cover, but I just tried. I tried. It was on Book Outlet, I told myself, give it a shot. Don't judge a book by its cover. But boy, I should have judged it. I should have judged it. Like, it's just like, he said, she said, he said, she said, like, oh my god. And oh my god, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. It was just so bad, and I can't deal with it. And it was shallow, and neither character had depth. They both were just boring and eh. The next book I want to talk about is Anatomy of a Boyfriend by Daria Snodowski. I don't know if I said her name right. I'm sorry if I said it wrong. This book surrounds the main character who pretty much has her whole life planned out. She knows where she wants to go to school. She's going to be something in the medical field. And then she meets her first love. And that's pretty much the basis of this whole thing. But honestly, all the story plot was giving blowjobs, never coming, like come when you have sex, and whining, and like medical terms. Like literally there is a part where she like drinks his cum, or like it's in her mouth, and she's like starts saying like things that you have in multivitamins, like vitamin B, zinc, vitamin A, and something like that. I'm just like, who has sex like this? I think though, one of the funniest parts of this book, and I just was just like, oh my god, was that like she's about to blow him, and he literally goes, I'm sorry. He literally goes, don't forget about these, and he meets his balls. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Who talks like this? Is this really how teenagers have sex? I'm sorry. I was like crying. And I always have to give disclaimers when I read high school romances, because I'm 23 years old, and maybe there's not even a reason for me to read them. Maybe I'm stupid for reading them, and I'm a cunt for reading them. I don't know, but I just know that it was so bad. Like, and then like the main character was really whiny, and like the ending wasn't very shocking to me. I've seen people like review it and say like they were shocked by the ending. I really wasn't. And I think she was like super like immature, I guess. Like, you know, especially going from high school to college with relationships and not going to the same places could really make it rocky, and a lot of people don't stay together, and a lot of people just like, you know, this is gonna be a spoiler, so just to let you know. You know, like in college, you know, a lot of things change and you really grow as a person. And there's a second book to it. I think it's called Anatomy of a Girlfriend. I did try to read the first chapter, and I got nowhere because she was even more awful in the second book than she was in the first book. And she doesn't really seem to mature. I don't know if she matured by the end of the second book, but she hadn't matured in the beginning of the second book. So I'm okay. And yeah. Okay, the next book I want to talk about is Sway by Kat Spears, I think is how it is, what her name is. I really wanted to enjoy this book. It has a pretty good rating, and I think it's like 4.1 out of 5. And I was really hoping for like a really nice, chill read, and I didn't get that. So we have the main character who goes by the name of Sway, and he's pretty much like the school's like favorite guy. Like if you need something, you ask him and he'll get it done for you. And he falls in love with Miss Perfect. I don't remember her name. I think it was it Bridget, or I don't remember. I just know she was shallow and he was, look, I am all for some really good non-conventional characters, but just a warning, if you know, especially about, you know, being PC, there are some really degrading slurs in it about disabled people, and there's some rape jokes, and anyway, it kind of became cheesy. He befriends her brother to get close to her, and the main girl had like literally the depth of a fingernail. Like, she like was just so boring. I liked the guy a little bit more than I liked her. I think I would have liked him a little bit more if he wasn't as... Okay, I'm gonna put it this way. Have you guys ever read a book where you're just like, wow, the author does not have any idea how teenagers speak? And I don't know if like all of Generation X, like when they were teenagers, speak like this, but we don't speak like this. I did not speak like this when I was 15, and I still don't at 23. And I just couldn't get with it. It was really just all over the place and pretty cheesy, which isn't normally a problem for me, but I could not do it. It was so bad. The next book I got as an ARC, like I want to say in 2015, 2016, and it is called Skin by Dale Mayer. This surrounded literally kind of like I don't even know how to describe it, but this like support group for people with like different issues. It wasn't even like, you know, like AA meetings are like all alcoholics, and then like cancer support groups are all people with cancer. This support group was like people with anger management, people who have been like abused, all put into one group. And basically they have to partner up and work on a project to heal themselves. I accepted the ARC. It was the first ARC I ever got, and I was just like, why not? And you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but I bet you saw this cover and judged it. I just try to keep an open mind, okay? So you have two of the main characters. One of the main characters had really bad anger towards his ex-wife, which I will not go and like talk about because I don't want to spoil it. And then the main girl was, which isn't a spoiler because you find out what's wrong with her in the beginning. She was raped as a child. I think she was like 11 or 12 when she was raped. And so because she has a giant fear of bigger guys, her teacher or the support counselor puts her with the main guy, and it freaks her out. But they have to do some type of project to heal themselves. I really wanted to like this book. So what I did was, the rating I gave it was literally like a rating. I just was like, I'm going to take everything else out of my head that I did not like about it and just give it a rating based on the love story that surrounds them. And that was it. And I think the guy's name was like Kane. I don't remember the girl's name. I just remember he called her Tinkerbell all the time, and because she was so little. And there's a lot of insta love. There was a lot of like healing within like a week. And honestly, like, I don't think any way they went about trying to heal her was accurate. And I just, for lack of a better way of expressing myself, it was just bullshit. Like, it was just so stupid. Nothing like really added up, and I think it needed way more pages, more chapters to get through with something that serious as a issue with a person. All in all though, I did give it like 2.5 stars because I was just like, out of 5, because I was just like, you know what, whatever, I'll just remove all of the rape and anger and all the other problems that go through it and just judge it based on what it is, and that is a quick, really sappy read. It has lots of good reviews. So this book is Faking It by Cora Carmack, and I actually really liked it, the first 2 books. It is part of the Losing It series. It goes Losing It, then I think it's Faking It, then I think it's Finding It, and it surrounds the 3 main characters of Losing It, and their 3 friends. It's Kelsey, somebody, and somebody. I don't remember their names. And it was literally just about the side male character and how he was getting over the female lead of Losing It. Her name is Kelsey, and wow, I thought her name was Kelsey. Her name was Bliss, and Kelsey was from finding it. I'm sorry, I'm just all mixed up. So it's Losing It is about Bliss, Finding It's about Kelsey, and Faking It is about insert side male lead who was boring in Losing It and is boring in his. And it goes back and forth between his point of view and the main girl's point of view, who is supposed to be like rough around the edges because she like, I think she has tattoos and like red hair or whatever. And then so she wants a boy to meet her parents as her fake boyfriend, so she hires him because he's more cookie cutter and like someone you bring home to your family. And they fall in love, I guess. I don't know. I DNF'd it. This and Sway got DNF'd. I did not finish it because it was so incredibly boring, and I didn't care about Cade. Was that his name? I don't know. He had some not very special name, and I hate saying this because I love Cora Carmack. Go Texans. But I could not deal with it, and I just DNF'd it. I've never finished reading it, which I hate doing to books I paid for, but whatever. I lied. I said these were in no particular order. These last two books are two of the most aggravating, stupid, I'm trying not to curse, books I've ever read. And number two comes down to Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover. Now, there's a lot of talk about Booktube where Colleen Hoover is concerned. A lot of people like her, a lot of people dislike her, a lot of people say that she really makes problematic characters. I particularly did like Ugly Love. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I did enjoy it. Maybe Someday is about the main character who finds out her boyfriend and her best friend are sleeping with each other, and she just leaves their apartment and ends up moving in with her neighbor who she used to watch on the balcony sing, which is kind of creepy, but whatever, and finds out that he is deaf. And now I was kind of excited to read something about someone with a disability and it not just be like, you know, all able-bodied people. But I didn't have too much of high hopes where Colleen Hoover is concerned because I had read her books prior. And I was right. I did not go into this book thinking I was going to hate it because I did like Ugly Love. Or actually, I think I read Maybe Someday first. I actually don't remember. But anyway. And so she moves in with this guy who has a girlfriend, mind you. Has a whole girlfriend. And he does not live with his girlfriend. He lives with his best friend, who is named Warren. The main guy is named Ridge. Don't ask me what the girl's name is. I don't know. And honestly, Warren is about the only likable character. There's actually a spinoff about him, but I'm too scared that Colleen Hoover like ruined his character, so I'm not going to read it. And it's basically about the two of them, Ridge and the girl, falling in love. And when I tell you, all that book was cheating. That's all it was. And it was kind of like, and this is a spoiler, so I said I wasn't going to do spoilers, but this is a spoiler. The main girl's ex-boyfriend tries to get her back, and when he goes to the apartment she's living at now, which is like across from theirs, he sees that she's with Ridge, and they're not together, but like, you know, they live together. And he makes a very good point where he says, you know, you're mad at me, I think her best friend's name was Taylor, and you're doing the same thing. And when I tell you, Ridge has got to be the worst in that whole book. It is the worst. Literally, he is only still with his girlfriend for like some sad sob story reason. And I'm just like, so you're basically wasting this girl's time when she could be living her life to the fullest. He like has so much man pain. It is ridiculous. Why do authors write male characters with man pain and then give me some sad sob story about like how, oh, it's okay because their childhood was so rough, they had to fend for themselves? I'm just like, does that mean you have to be a dick in real life? I have plenty of friends who were like bread makers for their family at very young ages, but they were not raging D-bags. And then like the book ends, and of course they end up together because it's, of course, but it was just like so stupid. There was no redemption. Honestly, the side girl whose name I don't remember, like, should have like oh my god, like she should have gotten so much better treatment than she did. It was kind of like she was just in there to be like a barrier in between Ridge and the main character, and instead of it being like come round circle, she finds out about it, not through him because he's too much of a pussy to actually come out and say what he's doing, but she finds out, and it just kind of abruptly ends. Like it's not much after that. It wasn't really much of anything, and I just probably will not pick up another Colleen Hoover book. I say that. I actually have It Ends With Us, like, already. I'm looking at it, but I probably won't read it. I'm done. Okay, now we're going to the last book. Let me get some water. This last book I read in school, my senior year of high school. And I disliked it so much. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because I really hate this book. And it's called Death in Venice by Thomas Mann. It is about a 50-year-old man who goes to Venice and falls in love with a 10-year-old. Legit is what it's called. And it's like a really popular classic book, and for its imagery, themes, whatever. And fun fact, the actual author, I'm more than positive, actually did go overseas and see some really attractive 10-year-old and wrote this book. So, I don't know. In retrospect, it's okay because, spoiler, if you don't care to read this book and you want to know what happens at the end. Literally, he gets sick with, like, I don't know if he gets sick with polio or, I don't know, some, like, older disease you don't really get anymore, and then he's on the beach and he hallucinates that this 10-year-old boy is like telling him to come to him, like be with me, which does not happen. He gets up and falls and dies, and that's like the end of it. So he doesn't think he can do anything, but it's like, I'm not even joking, the book is like this thin. It's like only like maybe a little over 100 pages. It's so boring and so stupid, and I just can't get over that he was like basically a child molester, just minus the molesting part because he didn't get a chance to do anything. He was so odd, and I guess that was supposed to be like the good part of the book, that he was so odd. It was so annoying to read, and now I've read some big ass books, and this book was like this small, but I could not get through it. Like all the thematic patterns in the world could not make me like that book. Like, I hate it. To this day, I think most people around me know that I hate that book. Okay, so that was it for all of the books I can't stand. Leave down below if you read any of these books and disliked them, because I disliked them so much. And tell me some of your least favorite books. Maybe I've read them, maybe I have not. Honestly, I probably haven't, because a lot of books that are popular on Booktube I haven't read. I'm not even gonna lie. But yeah, anyway, it's good to do another Booktube video. I haven't done one in a year. The last time I did a Booktube video was a year ago. That's insane. But anyway, yeah, that's it for this video. If you liked it, go check out some of my other videos. Until next time, do what you love, create what you love, and peace.